I'd like to welcome you to our theater. That's theater with a capital T, and that rhymes with D, and that stands for Drama Group. My name is Tony Labriola. I'm the president of the group, and I'm here to tell you about our new season of shows. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shows in the season. Shows that'll mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum. That's a capital B, and that rhymes with T, and that stands for theater. Now, I know all you folks are the right kind of people, so I'm going to be perfectly frank. Do you know what your young ones are doing in the halls of schools just like this? They're talking about TV. They're talking about movies. They're talking about Keanu Reeves and Nicole Kidman and Kevin Costner in Waterworld, and that's trouble, my friends. Terrible, terrible trouble. And there's only one way to keep the young ones moral after school, and that's theater. Theater. I'm talking about live theater, like A View from the Bridge in Pippin this summer. Theater. Buy yourself a ticket for next season. Listen close now. Here's the reason. Oh, we got music. We got lots and lots of music. We got Stephen Sondheim and company, Kismet for the family, and Anna Green Gables with melody. Theater. And we got drama. We got courtroom drama. Inherit the Wind. Oh, yes, and theater. We got laughs. We got lots and lots of laughs. At Christmas time with The Matchmaker, and It's Only a Play just a little bit later. And all 6 shows for the small cost of $65 just to defray expenses, my friends. Oh, and don't forget the 2 children's shows. We got theater tonight, right here in Chicago Heights. That's Chicago Heights with a capital C, and that rhymes with D, and that stands for Drama Group. No cell phones or pagers, that's the plan. Sit back and relax with the what? With the what? With the Music Man.
with the heat. Credit is no good for a notion salesman.
Aboard! All aboard!
Well, why not?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an Anvil salesman. Your firm give credit,
No, sir.
nor anybody else.
River City next. River City.
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods, cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the pagans and the Bergens.
Cash for the hogshead, cask and demijohn. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the fly paper.
Look,
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
where do you get it?
What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk. You can bicker, 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 you can talk, you can talk. You can talk, 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 bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. But you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the Model T Ford made the trouble, made the people want to go, want to get up and go 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's going to patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk? Where do you get it? At the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, at the present day modern departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? 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 Where do you get it? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? Where do you get it?
You can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, you can bicker. You can talk, 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 bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. But you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the you need a biscuit made the trouble. You need to put the crackers in a package. The you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary
Obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went out the window with the plug torn by the smoke. Changed the approach of a traveling salesman, made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. But you gotta know the territory.
Gone with the hogshead, cask, and demijohn. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk pan. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tierce.
Ever meet a fella by the name of Hill?
Hill?
Hill.
hill.
Hill?
Hill. Hill. Hill.
Hill!
No!
Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman, Hill.
Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
What's the fella's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or the Cracker Barrel being obsolete. Or the you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package. Or the Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or a doggone thing. He's just a bang beat, bell ringing, big haul, great go, necker nothing, rip burn, every time a bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill. Harold Hill.
Tell us what's his line. What's his line?
He's a fake and he doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what? He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big brass bass, and the piccolo, uniforms too, with the shiny gold braid on the coat and the big red stripe running down.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here or there a Jew's harp.
No, the fella sells bands, boys' bands. I don't know how he does it. But he lives like a king, and he dallies and he gathers, and he plucks and he shines, and when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory. River City. We're across the state line into Iowa. River City, population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in this state. What? All right. If you want to know about Harold Hill, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never saw him in my life, but I know this much. Once he's worked the town over, next salesman to arrive automatically gets tarred and feathered and run out the city limits on a rail. You think that's funny? Wait till it happens to you. Your hair never grows back.
Why should he get rode out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he's got to guarantee to teach the kids to play.
Well,
And to form the kids into a band with himself as a leader.
Well, what's wrong with that?
He don't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that. He can't tell a bass drum from a pipe organ. I'll catch up with that swindling two-bit thimble rigger, and when I do, I'll squeal on him so loud.
Wow, you're mad, Charlie. Sure like to be around when you catch up with that fella.
Well, it won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa. Not even the great Professor Harold Hill would try to sell to them neck-bowed Hawkeyes out here.
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I do believe I'll have to give Iowa a try.
I don't believe I caught your name.
I don't believe I dropped it.
Wow.
Oh, there's nothing halfway about the Iowa way to treat you when we treat you, which we may not do at all. There's an Iowa kind, a special chip on the shoulder attitude we've never been without that we recall. We can be cold as a falling thermometer in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so by God stubborn we could stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But what the heck? You're welcome. Join us at the picnic. You can have the fill of all the food you bring yourself. You really ought to give Iowa a try.
Provided you are con. Pounding your drawers all day.
And there I was in the Madison Hospital, and no one came to visit me. Cousin Will never came. Aunt Bertha never came.
Your Aunt Bertha's dead.
Well, she wouldn't have come anyway.
We can be cold as a falling thermometer in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so by God stubborn we can stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But we'll give you our shirt and the back to go with it. If your crop should happen to die. Glad to have you with us, even though we may not ever mention it again. You really ought to give Iowa, Iowa, Dubuque, Des Moines, Davenport, Marshalltown, Mason City, Keokuk, Ames, Clear Lake. Ought to give Iowa a try.
Mr. Squires? Yes, I was wondering if you could accommodate me with a rig on Sunday.
Then I expect you ought to see the man about a hiring rig. Who is late as usual?
Marcellus Washburn.
Gregory, you old son of a gun. But Greg,
Hill's the name. Professor Harold Hill.
but Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know you was coming?
I didn't know I was coming myself. Besides, how was I supposed to know you would end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl now. Ethel Toffemeyer, boss's niece.
Huh. Gone legitimate, huh? I always knew you'd come to no good.
Say, what's the new pitch? You're not back in the band business.
Yep,
I heard you was in steam automobiles.
I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
So, Mars, give me the lowdown around here.
Oh, you're never gonna get anywhere with these stubborn Arwins, Greg. Besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher here who'll expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male, or female?
The music teacher? She's a librarian, female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. Next time you see her, point her out to me.
I will. How are you going to start the pitch?
Same old way. First, got to keep that music teacher off balance. And then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble that it's in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Well, then I'll have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band. You remember? What's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiard parlor just got a new pool table.
They never had a pool table before?
Nope, only billiards.
That'll do. Thanks, Mars. Oh, and remember, music teacher.
Music teacher?
Excuse me, Mr.
Dunlop.
Mr. Dunlop, either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player, certainly mighty proud to say. Always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Helps to cultivate a horse sense with a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try to give an ironclad lead to yourself from a three-rail billiard shot? But just as I say, it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a ball-flying game. I'd say that any boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that sloth. The first big step on the road to the depths of degradé. I say first, medicinal wine from the teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit. And listening to some big out-of-town Jasper, hearing him tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trotting race, no, but a race where they set down right on the horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy setting on Dan Patch. Make your blood boil? Well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets on the table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum. That's a capital B. That rhymes with P. That stands for pool. And all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. I said, your young man will be frittering away there. Noontime, supper time, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket. Never mind getting the dandelions pulled, the screen door patched, or the beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water till your parents are left with a cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Oh yes, got lots and lots of trouble. I'm speaking about the kids in the Knickerbocker, shirt-tailed young ones, peeking in the pool hall window after school. You got trouble, folks. Right here in River City, trouble, that's a capital T. That rhymes with P. That stands for pool. No, I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm going to be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? They'll be trying out Bevo, trying out Q-Bebs, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette beads, and bragging all about how they're going to cover up the telltale breath with sense, and in one fine night, they leave the pool hall, headed for the dance at the Armory. Libertine men, scarlet women, and ragtime. Shameless music that'll drag your son, your daughter, ma'am, into the arms of a jungle animal instinct mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground. Trouble. Right here in River City. With a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school. Mothers of River City, heed the warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. When your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversations? Words like swell, ho, and so's your old man? Well, if so, my friends, you got trouble. Right here in River City, with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Remember the main place. Plymouth Rock and the Golden Rule. Oh, we got trouble, friends. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbered balls is the devil's tool. Oh, yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble.
Oh, yes, we got trouble here. We got big, big trouble.
With a T. Gotta rhyme it with P. And that stands for pool. Excuse me, but did you drop your...
No.
I'm sorry, don't I know you? I'll only be in town a short while. And I thought...
Good.
Huh.
That you, daughter? Yes, Mama. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in a minute. Hello, Mama. That's fine, dear. Now your exercises. I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July. It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town. Oh? Who? I never saw him before. Did he say anything? He tried. Well, did you say anything? Mama, of course not. Now don't dawdle, Amaryllis. Sol, do, la, re, ti, mi. A little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear. Well, if you don't mind me saying so, it wouldn't hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted. I know what the gentleman wanted. What, dear? You'll find it in Balzac. Well, excuse me for living, but I never read it. Neither has anyone else in this town. There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart. Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice. But, darling, when a woman has a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can quote Shakespeare and Balzac and all them other highfalutin Greeks. Mama, if you don't mind me saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject. No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about that stranger. What stranger? With the suitcase, who might be your very last chance. Mama, do you think I'd allow a common masher? No, really, Mama. I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention. I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind me saying so, there's not a man alive that could hope to measure up to that blend of Paul Bunyan, St. Pat, and Noah Webster you've concocted for yourself out of your Irish imagination, your library stubbornness, and your library full of books. Well, if that's not the best I ever heard.
Thank you, ma'am. Can I have a drink, please?
May I have a drink?
May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that any way to come into the house? Hello. That won't do at all. I'll have a kiss from my boy. And that lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where's your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I would especially like it very much if you'd come. Winthrop?
Winthrop? Amaryllis has asked you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I'll bet he won't say it. No, thank you, Amaryllis. 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 He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people just because he lisps?
It's not only because he lisps, Amaryllis. That's just part of it.
Well, what's the other part?
Oh, never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me, but I do to him. Every night, I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it, too, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
Oh, there, dear. Oh, it's all right. You've got lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my crosshand piece?
May I?
May I play my crosshand piece?
You may.
You see, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the evening star.
I know, Amaryllis. For the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right. It's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
And
stereopticon slides, and to Ethel Toffemeyer for her fine piano. As mayor of River City, I want to welcome you fellow River citizens to the 4th of July exercises being set up here in Madison Gymnasium, account of the weather. 4 score. The men of the school board are going to present a political tableau. The men of the school board are not going to present a political tableau. Instead, the Watanyee girls of the local wigwam of Hiawatha will present a spectacle, my wife, in which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, will play a leading part. Mrs. Shin will recover. No thanks to a young ruffian who is a disgrace to this city. 4-7. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, the last days of Pompeii, will be presented, providing that the rain stops before 9:30. It'll be out at Madison Picnic Park, in the farm meadow, across the creek from the pest house.
How can it be raining? Do you think that predict fair? It sure did. That's why we prepared for a storm.
The Gazette's accurate most of the time, and you know it, Casey.
It is not.
It's going to be very successful in banking being accurate most of the time.
You know that it's fair.
No, let's have order here. Order. Looks like the 8 o'clock is late again.
I make her early.
Oh, no, she's late, all right.
She's right on time.
She's not late. She's late.
Members of the school board stop bickering in public.
What all in the world did I say? Was that
Never mind. Four score.
We hear that there's a pool table in town.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Now, just a minute.
Well, is it a pool table or isn't it?
Will you allow me to continue with these exercises?
We don't want any more exercises until we get this pool table matter settled.
Let's protect our children. Resist sin and corruption. Smite the devil and keep our young boys pure. Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this trouble, friends, with a wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize a River City Boys Band. But, oh, think, my friends, how can any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Ra-da, ra-da-da-da-da, ra-da. remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billiard parlor walls come a-tumbling down. A band will do it, my friends. I said we need a boys' band. Do you hear me? I said River City now to have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand. River City's gonna have that boys' band, and as sure as the Lord made little green apples, that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred, and you'll see the shimmer of crashing cymbals, hear the thunder of rolling drums, the shimmer of trumpets, ta-ta-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric experience I once had when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great creator W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones in the morning sun, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were top-bottom timpani and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double-belled euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 50 mountain cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering, louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a full octave higher than the score.
Men, this calls for emergency action. That man's a spellbinder. Well, I haven't seen Iowa people get so excited since the night Frank Gotch and Slaughter Lewis lay on the mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle. Never mind. I want that man's credentials. Grab that hoodlum. He almost blew up Mrs. Shinn.
Thanks, Professor. Ringleader, you know. Have to make an example of him. What he does, the gang does.
Geely Klein, let me go.
You wild kid, huh? Hanging around my oldest girl? His father's a day laborer from the south side of town. You wild kid, yeah? Tagging after my oldest girl down Main Street last Sunday.
I wasn't either, tagging.
Don't you contradict me.
We just walking together, Geely Klein.
You watch your phraseology. Now, I know what you was doing. My little Gracie senior. Now, you stop seeing my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me till who laid the railings. Hill, I'll talk to you Monday down at City Hall about this damn thing. 10 a.m. sharp. Men, I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's dangerous. And he's got his gang waiting outside.
I'll be careful. Tommy, I wanted to talk to you about the band.
Oh, gee, Professor, that's for the little kids.
I'm not talking about being in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever had anything done with perpetual motion?
Oh, yeah, nearly had it a couple times.
You did? Well then, you're my man. Do you realize that no one has ever invented a music holder for the marching piccolo player? Nowhere to hold the music.
Geely Klein. Wonder where I could get some wire from.
Look in your cellar. That's where people keep wire. Oh, Tommy, now Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Oh, miss, young lady, what's your name?
Zanita, I had no idea you was beckoning me. God.
Zanita, do you know Tommy Geelis?
Well,
Tommy, this is Zanita. Please escort the young lady home.
Only I ain't going home. I have to go to the library. Yes.
Well, then escort the young lady home by way of the library. By way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
He does.
Oh, Professor, you're a pretty smart fellow. You made a couple of mistakes, though.
Oh, really?
That billiard parlor and that new pool table, the mayor owns them.
Oh, what was my other mistake?
That's Anita girl. She's the mayor's oldest daughter.
Well, excuse me, Professor. We'd like to have a word with you. We're the school board. We need your academic certificates. Nothing of the kind. We need letters and papers. Make him put up a bond.
Wait a minute, gentlemen. What am I hearing? Sing. Ice cream.
Ice cream, but I don't sing.
That's fine. Just talk then, but do it down here.
Ice cream.
Talk slower.
Ice cream.
You see, gentlemen, singing is only sustained talking. Now you.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. And now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Ladies, I guarantee you will never see one of these gentlemen without the other three.
This can't have no wrong. I've been hating each other for years.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be
any sin insincere? Where is a good in goodbye in goodbye? Your apprehension
suppose you live alone or anything?
No.
I have some wonderful caramels over at the hotel.
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street, like a Saturday night rowdy at the public dance hall?
I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary Conservatory. Gold medal class of Art 5.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? Another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you, I have a shelf full of reference books in there, which may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Greg.
Hi, Marcellus. Will you stop calling me Greg?
How'd it work out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. Had her eating out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
She did? Boy, did you cut a swath tonight. Even for a minute, I thought you knew something about leading a band. Like that band concert fellow you used to imitate back in Joplin.
Oh. Kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days. Just keep your eye on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? But it used to only take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh, no, Greg. You haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you can't pass yourself off as a music professor. I mean, not for any 4 weeks.
Now, Mars.
But, Greg, you don't know one note from another.
I have a revolutionary new method called the Think System, where you don't have to bother with the notes.
But, Greg, in 4 weeks, the people will want to hear the music. You're going to have to lead a band.
Yeah, well, once the uniforms arrive, they forget all about that. Well, at least long enough for me to collect and leave. Yes, son, this is a refined operation, and I have it timed down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. And now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Washburn.
Gonna line yourself up with a little canoodling, huh?
Yeah.
Say, I could fix you up with Ethel's sister. Lovely girl, teaches Sunday school.
Oh, no wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me, no. That kind of girl spins webs no spider ever. Listen, son, a girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir. For no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz. For the lady who knows what time it is. I cheer, I rave. For the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me. Remember this? Blonde and brunette, opportunity. No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots. No sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No, too young miss who keeps resisting. All the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir. For she's the fisherman, I'm the fish, you see. I flinch, I shine. When the lass with the delicate hair goes by, I smile, I grin. When the cat with the touch of sin walks in, I hope and pray for Hester to win. Just one more egg, the sadder but wiser girl, the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
And you
Shin, our mayor's wife. Oh, Eulalie, isn't this exciting? I could not say. That is, I could not say at this time. My husband shall wish to investigate, I'm sure, and naturally, I'm reticent. Oh, yes, I'm reticent.
Of course. I understand, Mrs. Shin. But you see, my music plans include a committee on the dance. And wait. Mrs. Shin, please do that again. The way you lifted your foot just now.
I have a bundle that bothers me.
What grace, what natural flow of rhythm, what expression of line and movement.
Mr. Hill?
Mrs. Shin, you must accept the chairmanship of the Ladies' Auxiliary for the classic dance. Mustn't you, ladies? Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks Delsart. Will you say yes?
I? Eulalie McKinshin? Well, that is, dancing? Oh.
Then you accept?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Thank you. And now, about the young lady who plays the piano. Marion Peru, I believe. After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk little, pick a little, talk little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk little, pick a little, talk little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk little, pick a little, talk little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little, pick a little, talk little. Her kind of woman doesn't belong on any committee. Of course, I shouldn't tell you this, but she advocates dirty books.
Dirty books?
Revelate!
Oh, and the worst thing, I shouldn't tell you this.
I'll tell. The man lived on my street, let me know.
I'll tell. The man lived on my street, and she made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town until she came here. Old Miser Madison, you know the man.
Oh, Miser Madison, Madison Gymnasium, Madison Picnic Park, Madison Hospital. That Miser Madison.
Exactly. Who did he think he was anyway?
Well, I should say, big show-off. Probably left the town the library, too, didn't he?
That's just it. He left the library building to the city.
But he left all the books to her.
Oh, yes, she was seen coming and going from his place.
Oh, yes, that woman made brazen overtures. With a guilty Sharon, she had a golden glint in her eye, a silver voice, and a counterfeit ring. Melt her down, and you'll reveal a local planet out of steel. Here, a woman's heart should be. He left River City, the library building, but he left all books to her. Chaucer. Rabelais.
Oh!
Just a minute.
We need your credentials.
Ah, yes. I have exactly what you need over in my hotel. Follow me, please. Excuse me. Good night, ladies.
Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. We're going to leave you now.
It's all right. I know everything, and it doesn't make any difference to me.
What What are you talking about?
You were probably very young. Anyone make a mistake?
What?
I'll only be in town a short while, and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what is it you want to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Marion. Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Pee-wees, and 1 giant glassy with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Shh. Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigade men had to whisper the news to Ian. Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marion, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to Marion. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight. And a fellow would know that his dog had heard every word of his song. With the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to make it clear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion is a long lost cause I can never win, for the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin. And in talking out loud with an librarian such as Madam Librarian. madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion is a long lost cause. I can never win, for the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with an librarian, such as Mary. Ladies Dance Committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school. Madam Librarian. Marshmallow? Reading. All right, Tommy. That was not a bad morning. 11 sales out of 12 tries. Tell you what, it's almost noon. Why don't you go home and get some supper, and I'll take the next couple by myself.
Goodbye, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy. Really, thanks.
Just a minute here. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Why, no, Mayor Shin. I collect doorbells. This particular specimen...
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why haven't you been down to City Hall with your references?
I must have just missed you. Oh, no. Mr. Mayor, your hand.
What?
That spread of the little finger. It's hereditary.
Oh, it is? What does that mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good. It means that America has at last produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in only 50 seconds.
How could I get one of those horns?
Just sign right here.
Yes, sir.
And that'll be $17 import fee.
Just think, I almost missed out on... I haven't got any son. Why, you unsliperless flew by night. One fliperless. You get your by God papers down to City Hall at 3 o'clock.
Do you mean this afternoon?
I couldn't make myself an A-planer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Good day, Mrs. Peru.
Why, Professor Hill, won't you sit down?
Why, thank you. Can I give you a hand with those? Thank you. You know, Mrs. Peru, you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso.
I don't know that I understand you entirely, Professor.
Well, if your boy has that same firm chin, those splendid cheek muscles, well, not that he could ever be really, truly great, you understand.
Oh, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all of the truly great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Klein.
Oh, but Professor, we are Irish.
No, really. Oh, well then that cinches it. Your boy was born to play the cornet. Just sign right here. And that'll be $7 earnest money. But not a penny more due till the first installment payable the first day of band practice. Ah, thank you. And, of course, I'll need the measurements for his uniform.
His uniform?
Why, certainly his uniform. And there won't be a penny due until delivery. That gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine, at no cost whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitement of today.
We have
a stripe? Yes, a wide red stripe down each side. Now, what do you think of that?
excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, not even to us. And if you can get him to play in that band, you'll have St. Michael's own way about you. But if anyone can do it, I'll bet you can. Out of a crowd, I'd pick you for a hod-carrying, clay-pipe-smoking, shamrock-wearing, hot-flaming, maverining, pinching, terrace-old minstrel singing Irishman. Be up and be chappers. Where are you from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it, Gary. What'd you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Oh, was she now?
Yes. Gold medal class of '05. How to do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Yes, Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar. I've been trying to speak to you ever...
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
Mama, we're not interested.
Oh, but Marion, he might have his father's musical gift. He does have me joy, you know.
Your husband's musical. Well, I'd like to talk to him. I'm certain that we could
Do
come
you
to a-
burst into everyone's home like this? Prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
But Marion...
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
I'm sorry. But that's all the more reason your brother should have something like this. That
My
way he-
brother is a 10-year-old problem child who doesn't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. As to your musical tricks, why don't you find some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks. Well, I'll have... You know, I think she kind of likes the idea. A bit cautious, perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. Just keep me alive, and I'll be back later in the week.
One moment, Professor Hill. About the boy's uniform. I make all his clothes. Sleeve 21, waist 18, crouch 14.
Yes, fine. Thank you. That's all I'll need. And now I must get back to my hotel.
Professor, I do hope that you'll excuse Marion. She's not really like that.
Don't worry. I'm sure that at heart, she's as lovely a woman as yourself. Good day, Widow Peru.
Has he gone?
He has. And not forever, I hope. Darling, don't you ever think about your future? Gary Conservation Class of '05. Now really, darling.
Oh, now, Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing traveling man that comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. But it's a well-known principle. If you put the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you're never going to make much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop? Winthrop, I know you're there. Please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
I've written it all down. You won't have to say a word. Thank you, Winthrop.
Now what he ought to. What do you need books for at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling that Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes into the professor's claims.
Well, I give up. At your age, if I might ask, what kind of a white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Greiner, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does.
Or Ed Gamage and that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a man in shining white armor either. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. And if occasionally he'd ponder what makes Shakespeare and Beethoven great, him I could love till I die. Him I could love till I die. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, let me walk with him when the others ride by. Walk and love him till I die.
Zanita! Hey, Zanita!
Tommy, Papa and Mama are sitting right there at the bench. God!
All right, then meet me after supper.
I can't. It's that league night. Meet you where?
The footbridge?
The footbridge? Now, isn't that just what I said? Last week the lumberyard and now the footbridge? And where will you meet me after that? The black hole of Calcutta? Ye gods!
I only want to show you my invention.
What invention?
My music holder for a marching piccolo player. It still has a couple minor flaws. You see, when you hold it tight enough to keep the music steady, you cut off your circulation and you can't wiggle fingers. Meanwhile, you could go blind.
Tommy, it's Papa!
Is that the first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
Yes. The very first thing I said was, I want that spellbinder's credentials, I said the morning of 4th of July, 1912. And now look, my wife's off dancing in any and all hours instead of in the home. The school board is singing up and down streets and the alleys instead of tending to city matters. My oldest girl is bootling around with some wild kid, and my business has fallen so far off that I can't find the balance sheet.
Mayor Shin, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
Is who?
His university.
I know all about that. As a matter of fact, it's the only thing I could ever get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of '05.
If you'll just take a little time to read what's in it.
Wagon wagon coming up from the depot.
A likely story. At this hour of the day, nonsense. Wells Fargo wagon.
It could be the band instrument.
The band instruments.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. Please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday.
In March, I got a gray Mackinac.
And once I got some grapefruit from Chevron.
Montgomery Ward sent me a bathtub and a cross-cut saw.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming now. Is it a prepaid surprise or COD?
Partition. Or a double boiler. Or it could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
I got some salmon from Seattle last September.
pregnancy. It could be thought for someone who has no relation, but it could be thought and said just for me.
There you go, Whitford.
My cornet. Gee, thanks, Professor.
Men, you will all receive individual instruction in due time. Until then, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and think about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
La-di-da, la-di-da. Fiddler, isn't this the most grumpiest salvo thing you ever saw? I never thought it'd be anything but grumpy, and that's the grumpiest salvo thing. Oh, Fiddler.
Round one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some by God tune out of those horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you in front of the grand jury down at the county seat. Now, Miss Miriam, about that book.
George Tempest Fugits.
You watch your phraseology. Get along if you want to. I gotta see the librarian about something. About that book.
The Ladies' Dance Committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
that our Delsart display will be the highlight of the ice cream ceremony. Now, gentlemen, if you're ready, please. Oh, and ladies, please don't make me tell you again. Always keep your face to the audience. All right, Mr. Dunlop.
It's you in the sunrise. It's you in my cup. It's you all the way into town. It's your sweet hello, dear, that sets me off.
On the right foot. Good.
And it's your got to go, dear, that gets me down.
2, 3.
It's you on my pillow in all of my dreams, till once more the morning breaks through. What words could be saner or truer or plainer than it's you? It's you.
Smile, girls.
Yes, it's you. Oh, yes, it's you. Oh.
Very good, girls. Very good. Now, the rehearse later after.
Please, kids. Mrs. Shit will have my head.
Mr. Washburn, we only time for 5 minutes more.
You think you can hold these kids back? Go ahead.
Oh, no!
Start her up, Mr. Washburn. What do you see the new step the professor taught us?
All right, kids. What'll it be?
The shapoopy.
Now, a woman who kisses on the very first date is usually a hussy. And a woman who kisses on the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman who waits the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. She's the girl you're glad you found. She's your shapoopy, 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 shapoopy. The girl is hard to get. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy. And you can't get her yet. We'll walk her once just raise the curtain. We'll walk her twice just raise the curtain. Once more in the flower garden, never gets sore. Beg a pardon. Squeeze her once and she's looking, got to respect. Looking,
steady behind your back.
Why,
We'd rather do it in front of your back, but,
do what? Never mind.
Tanita's scared of you. But I'm not. I should think you'd hate to have your oldest daughter scared of you, Geely Klein.
Now, I'm going to warn you one more time. If I ever catch you touching my daughter, I'll by God horsewhip you till hell won't have it again.
Now, George, please.
Not one poop out of you, madam.
I think he means peep.
Yes. And now, you get out of this public building.
I got as much right in a public building as anybody.
Right? How do you get any right around here? Aiding and abetting the swindling activities of that spellbinding symbol salesman? You know what I see written all over you? Reform School! Now, get out! Get out, you wild kid!
Papa, please! It's caveats like you that make London marketplace. Ye gods!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. You're going home.
Oh, baby.
You lady?
Yes, George?
You tend to your dance.
Oh, my dance. Sorry.
I'll take care of Zanita, taking up with these other kids from the other side of town.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make you understand.
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover for a whole week now and didn't find a thing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please, I'd like to...
I'll take care of your hash as soon as I get the premises off my oldest girl. Yeah.
Well, in the meanwhile, I want you to know, I'm vouching for Tommy Geelis. That boy has the confidence of every kid in town. You'll be waiting in line to shake his hand by time our band plays its first concert.
By time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will be foregathered in their wheelchairs from breaking their legs, from tripping over their beards. Now I'll tell you something, my fine young feathered, my feathered young, never mind. Oliver J.C. Ewart Olin, I want that man's credentials and I want them tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slipperier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
You mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him in jail? I couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin has behaved abominably, and I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
Well, it was nothing, really.
Yes, it was.
You know, a man can't dodge the issue just because a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths. The brave man, only 500. Well, after all, the mayor was already pretty upset on account of this billiard parlor. I suppose a recommendation from a musical authority such as yourself might help, but I couldn't ask for such a thing.
Oh, why, Professor Hill?
You would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been wanting to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
Ah, yes, his cornet, mother of pearl keys, and...
I'm sure it's fine. It's just that he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so we made a few experimental blats, I guess you'd say.
Yes, blats, exactly, yes.
And he sings the minuet in G-da-da almost constantly.
La-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
But he never touches the cornet.
Well,
He says you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well?
He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, then he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor Hill,
Miss Marion, the think system is a revolutionary method, I'll admit it. But then again, so was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss these things in public, but if you'll allow me to call, when may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Miss Prue, please join our Dance Art Committee. You were so dear dancing with Professor Hill tonight. You danced like a fairy princess, with a dancing for your floor, and a golden shimmer in your hair, and silver shoes for all to see. We know that you will soon unfold a forgiving heart of purest gold here, where a woman's heart should be. Fairy princess, moving floor, golden shimmer, silver shoes, now unfold, hearts of gold, here where a woman's heart should be. The professor told us to read those books, and we simply adore them all. Chaucer! Rabelais!
Oh, sorry, Professor, but we've got our orders.
We've been deputized.
Yes. Congratulations. Let's see now. I've been trying to give you fellas my credentials all week, but we always seem to get off the subject somehow. Let me see. I have exactly what you need up in my hotel room. Shouldn't take but a minute.
Oh, afraid I'll have to go with you.
I was afraid of that. Let's see if I have my key. What's this? Oh, yes. A testimonial from Madame Reaney, the only female bassoon player ever to play the Red Path Circuit. Her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Moline. Lida Rose Quackenbush.
May I see that a minute?
Oh, you won't need it. You'll never forget the name, Lida Rose. Just like the old song. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, to get the sun back in the sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose.
love you. Oh, yes,
I can hear the chapel bell chime.
telling you
At the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Light a rose now, everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine.
Will I ever tell
Light a rose, oh, won't you be mine? Light a rose, oh, light a rose, oh, light a rose.
Will you ever stop arguing with yourself? Will you ever tell him? Won't you ever tell him a yes or no or fiddlesticks? Just open up your mouth and let it come out.
Oh, now, Mama.
Now nothing. If he ever comes to call again, you him alone. And if you haven't the gumption to tell him how you feel.
Oh, tell him?
Well, there's nothing wrong with a little ladylike hint.
Mama!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing!
Fishing?
With Harold!
You mean Professor Hill?
Mm-hmm. And look, I still have some worms left.
Did you have a good time?
Strumpsius, he told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana. And he said he'd take me there someday. And he taught me a song with Harley Esmond. Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I have been on this elegant syncopation. I was eight without a mind of hesitation. There is this one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, I run. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I have been on this alien syncopation. I was eight without a mind of hesitation. There is this one place that can light my face.
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana.
Not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, I run. But
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. I'll be back in a minute. I just show Amarillo my life garage. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da.
Leave the dishes. I'll do them, Mama.
Don't you have to get ready for the sociable?
Oh, there's time later.
Shins live around here somewhere?
Oh, the Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Oh, criminy. I see you're the piano teacher in town. Then you must know about that fella Hill forming a boys' band.
Yes.
Well, then you must know, I got the goods on him in spades. That swindling two-bit thimble rigger, that's why I got to see Shin. I'm just passing through. Number 8 takes a 15-minute water stop. Wish it were 20. I'd sure like to concentrate 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell, anvil salesman. But just now I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from that swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake? My old lady's corset cover. That fella's been a raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me, and he's not going to spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? You didn't see through him. He's no more professor than...
I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He is a fine director, and his scholastic
Wait a
abilities
minute. Fine director? Have you ever heard one note of music from any band?
Well, no, but he...
But nothing, girly girl. He's never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
If you'll just listen to me for a minute.
Well, I'd like to. I'd like to do more than that. If I had the time, I sure got the inclination. But I got to get back on the train. And I got to leave this dynamite with somebody on the way to the depot. Bye, girly girl. See you next time through.
Mr. Cowell, you'll never make that train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I got to leave word about that fella Hill. And I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You, don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No, I meant I don't know you, and,
Yes, it would take me more time.
I mean, as well as I'd like.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something, well, quite different.
Takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. Anvils do have a limited appeal. What am I doing? I'll miss that train, I'll get fired, and I got to leave word about that fella Hill.
Well, leave word with me.
Not on your tintype. How do I know you deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train! Now run for it!
Boy, you double-dealing little... Who do you think you're protecting? That guy's got a girl in every county in Illinois, and he's taking away from every one of them. That's 102 counties. Not counting the piano teachers like you that cozies up to keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you's heard the last of me, girly girl.
Dong ding. At the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Ida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Good evening, Miss Marianne. Ida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose.
Marion, dear, who was you talking to just now? Why, Professor Hill.
Mrs. Peru, top of the evening. Miss Marion?
Now you and Marion, you come up and sit. I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Did I? I didn't mean any.
No, Miss Marion, I don't suggest that your invitation inferred anything but academic enlightenment. The think system, I've been by a time or two this week to try to explain it to you, but there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
Good. I wouldn't want anybody beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am. huh? Well, evidently it's not the convenient night, so I'll see you at the sociable.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100? What I'm trying to say is,
Yeah.
is it really true that you've developed a think system?
A what? A think system? Oh, a think system, yes. It's really quite simple. You see, no one has to teach you how to use your lips in whistling. You simply have to think a tune here to have it come out clearly here. Now, try this before you ask any more questions.
I take your word.
Could we please sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers.
I dare say you meet dozens, even 100.
Well, I
Have they all
suppose
been as fascinated as I have with the think system?
some more, some less. One young lady had thought of the same system before I got to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please, don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. You must have many more important things to do than explain the think system to me.
I can't think of one.
And I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where'd you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Well, you mustn't believe everything you hear, Miss Marion. After all, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Oh, Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me in a sure job so that Mother and Winthrop and I could have some security. Well, surely you don't believe that I would...
Of course not. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Now, why do you think people start these rumors?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess.
And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh, nothing about you personally, just generally.
Well, what have you heard generally?
Just that. But of course, it stands to reason that, well, disappointment and jealousy could lead to. Take you, for instance, and your attention to customers, and well, teachers might easily be misinterpreted, mightn't they? I mean, now, honestly, mightn't they?
Why?
And so you say, if another salesman or someone were jealous, well, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Well, rumors and things.
Oh, of course, of course.
It just proves you can't believe everything you hear, doesn't it? I mean, if you discuss things.
Miss Marion, I would love to discuss anything with you. But couldn't we please do it sitting down? You do sit. Your knees bend and all.
We could sit on the porch.
Or we could sit on a large hollow log over at the footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I've got to get dressed for the sociable.
Okay, then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't, please. Some other time. Maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, you pile up enough tomorrows, and you'll find you've collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
So would I.
The footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama! What? I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes. Oh, glory be and the saints be praised. It works. What does? I've been using the tick system on you from the parlor.
kids are in them already. Those people are going to be screaming for music if those kids show up at the sociable.
Yeah.
Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's keeping the kids together at least, pretending to hold up practice over at the lumberyard.
Get the rig.
I got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
It's not even 8:30 yet.
Look, you want to turtle wordle around here and get yourself caught in a bunny trap? You go ahead.
But now, Mars, don't worry. I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Miss Marion, you're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
Well, I'd say about 26 years late. Took you all that time to get to the footbridge with Othello.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Really?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
No, certainly you don't think I've been trying to sell you anything.
No. You've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving...
Oh, yes, you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came. And I'm glad. Please, don't be afraid I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there will be many more. But that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you will have left behind for me.
Marion,
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you.
I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz. This could be it. What now?
Hey, who's the salesman here? Sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
You nuts? I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. I had to keep her off balance. I told you that.
Well, she's so far off balance now, you can't tell her from a tugboat in a hurricane.
Listen here, Buster Brown. I've come up through the ranks on this skirmish, and I'm not going to resign without my commission.
Well, you're not going to get anywhere right out here on the footbridge.
You know what? There's a place over near the Madison Picnic Park. Makes this footbridge look like an old ladies' home. Now, will you go get the rig? Beat it! Never a dull moment in the music business. Now, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Ah, yes. Well, now we don't really have to go into that now. Do we?
No, we don't. Or ever, for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately. But she did plenty when you first came here.
Really? About what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory of Music, gold medal class 5. Harold, there was no Gary Conservatory in 5.
Well, surely there was.
Because the town wasn't built until 6. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew all this time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came here. I tore this page from the Indiana Journal. Originally, it was intended to use against you. Now, I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Why, you little? Will 110 cornets play the air? Then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I pot up and down the square.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love.
With 110 cornets brightly high.
Our story shines. Brightest light.
There were haunts of every shape and sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
Well, 110 cornets play the air.
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone. Good night.
Greg, this guy's crazy. He's going all over town spilling everything.
I'll say I'm crazy. Missed my train, probably lost my job, but I got you now, Hill, and you're gonna pay. You'd have been in a clink already, hadn't it been for that piano teacher. I told her all about you. What'd she do? Lily gags me around so I couldn't get the shit. Little dried up, man-hungry doxy, round-heeled biscuit.
Now you get out of here before I kill you, you dirty mouth!
You bully! You big blow-up! I'm gonna stay in this town until you get yours up, down, through, and sideways. Why, you never even knew that territory!
Greg, your stuff's in the alley. Come on, hurry up.
out of your eye teeth right now, this minute. There's a burglar in the bedroom while you're fiddling in the parlor. I'm talking about Harold Hill. Road agent, highwayman, pickpocket. Pickpocket? Same thing. He's had his hand in your wallet, mister. And yours, madam. And yours, little lady, ever since the first moment he came to town. There's more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band. There never was any band. And there never will be any band. And if you don't hunt this man down like a mad dog right now, this minute, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Now, will you believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for? I want my money back. Money back? I want his hide.
After him. And when you find him, bring him to the gym. After him.
Marion, I had to see you again. I couldn't...
It's all right. Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word. Not a word.
Great.
He's not over here. Let's try down by the creek.
Oh, Winthrop!
Now wait a minute here, son.
I'm not your son. Leave me go.
Not till I talk to you.
I won't listen. You won't tell the truth anyway.
Would so.
Would not.
Would too. Tell you anything you want to know.
You your band.
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Leave me go, you big liar.
No. Now you wanted the truth, didn't you? No, I'm bigger than you, and you're gonna get it all. So, stop wiggling. There's two things you are entitled to know. First, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band, so you'd quit moping around, feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Now come to think of it, the other thing isn't any of your business.
I wish you'd never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised us. And it's all happened just like he said. The lights and the flags and the colors and the symbols.
Where was all that?
In the way every kid in this town walked around here all summer and looked and acted. Especially you. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor. Hurry up.
I can't, Winthrop.
Why not?
For the first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door. There
was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Right. Right, they're here. This way, this way.
Hurry up, Professor!
Which is why I interrupted the program at this point. Let me assure you, this snake in our bosom would have been misapprehended by this time. Yes. And always remember, my fellow river citizens, let me remind you I've done everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from happening. Four score.
What are you going to do about getting our money back? That professor collected nearly $300 for uniforms just tonight.
We haven't even seen them uniforms.
He's slippery, I told you.
I haven't seen any uniforms or my boy either since right after supper. Oh, my
He's a kidnapper.
What situation we have here?
Four score. Just a minute. Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those, as I have heard, who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say them nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting, Iowa-stubborn, chip-on-the-shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Well, do you? Well, surely some of you ought to be grateful to him for what he's brought to River City. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there's any one person in this hall who doesn't want to see this man Hill tarred and feathered, let him stand up. Eulalie, sit down. And the rest of you stand there like a coat of Shropshire sheep. Have you people forgotten how you bought expensive uniforms, technical band instruction books, and high-priced instruments? Have you forgotten the clear understanding and warranty that your children would be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band?
Think, men. Think.